And North Korea has fired 2 short-range ballistic missiles into the sea off its east coast yet again. This is North Korea's 7th test fire in a month, and this is the top story we're tracking this hour. Is despite North Korea's assurance of no immediate threat, the move is likely to worsen relationships with its Korean counterpart. South Korea nuclear talks partner the United States as well. Now, this comes just after North Korea's Foreign Minister Ri Yong-ho lashed out at State Secretary of U.S. Mike Pompeo for quote-unquote tough sanctions. Pyongyang also warned of becoming Washington's biggest threat if the U.S. continues to impose sanctions on North Korea. Kim Jong-un has made his stand clear. He remains ready for both dialogue and a standoff. Relations between the U.S. and North Korea have been back and forth since the talks broke down after the Hanoi summit. Kim Jong-un wanted an immediate relief from the economic sanctions, while Donald Trump was intent on a complete denuclearization of the Korean peninsula. U.S. Special Representative for North Korea visited Seoul recently for joint efforts to resume negotiations between Washington and Pyongyang. This came after Seoul and Washington had their combined military exercise this week. Or will the talks still remain stalled? Over to other international stories, and President Vladimir Putin of Russia has said that his government will respond in a tit-for-tat manner to a recent missile test by the United States. On Monday, the Pentagon had said that it tested a conventionally configured cruise missile that hit its target after more than 500 kilometers of flight. It was the first such test since the demise of the landmark Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty this month. Putin also told the Russian National Security Council that it could not sit idly by and watch. Washington formally withdrew from the Cold War-era Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, or the INF Treaty, on 2nd of August after accusing Moscow of violating it. It is a charge that Moscow has vehemently denied. Putin also spoke about the United States talking of deploying missiles in Asia. Putin said, and I quote, "All this leaves no doubts that the real intention of the United States in exiting the INF Pact was to unite its hands to deploy previously banned missiles in different regions of the world." Now, the INF Treaty had prohibited land, and in the latest, U.S. President Donald Trump announced new tariffs on Chinese imports. Trump took to Twitter to make these announcements on U.S. car imports. This plan was unveiled just hours before Trump's announcement. However, what Trump failed to acknowledge was the fact that latest Chinese move was a retaliation to an announcement made by Trump in the beginning of this month. On the 1st of August, Trump announced 10% tariff on $300 billion in Chinese products. This escalation in trade war took a toll on global stock markets. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost over 620 points. London's FTSE lost 100 points. The US-China tariff war also hit Germany's DAX, which turned negative. Now, the US Chamber of Commerce issued a statement asking the Trump administration Earlier, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, who is visiting Vietnam, said that countries should respect maritime boundaries.
The Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade of the Government of Australia to sign
principles that relate to freedom of navigation, freedom of overflight, ensuring that nations can pursue the development opportunities that exist within their EEZs and within their sea boundaries, and they can go about that business in a way that is uninhibited and is supported and upheld by the regional architecture and the rule of law that supports that free conduct of activity.
This comes after the Vietnamese and Chinese vessels were locked in a tense standoff in Vietnam's exclusive economic zone in the disputed South China Sea. China had deployed its survey ships to Vietnam-controlled region. Now, India has also been caught in called the Hong Kong Way, is inspired by a large-scale demonstration 30 years ago in the 3 former republics of the Soviet Union. Now, on the other hand, a woman protester who was arrested by the Hong Kong police has alleged that she was abused by 2 women officers while in custody. Listen to what she had to say.